Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 30 of the A Strings podcast.
Four coughs.
Don't stand so close.
Welcome.
Hello there.
It's been a little while since we've done, since we did the last podcast.
Yes, all the way back at Nam Show
with Leighton.
So it's a little while.
We've had every intention of doing a podcast. We were going to do one with Steve from Blackstar. That unfortunately fell through because he had other engagements, I think, that came up that night.
Bits going on. We were going to do a Valentine's one.
We were, but I was ill.
Yes.
We were going to do, I think then,
we had bits and pieces planned.
Yeah.
And life just gets in the way, I suppose.
Yeah. But it's been quite an eventful time of it.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, this podcast, it's not going to be like a normal podcast. I think it's just more of a kind of, we're still here and a bit of a catch-up.
Yeah.
One of the big things that happened in, where we're based are the floods caused by Storm Dennis and Kiara, is it Kiara? Yeah. And it affected Pontypridd town centre in a way that in my 40 years I've never ever seen before.
Yeah, I've never seen.
And also Treforest Industrial Estate, which, so basically those two areas kind of sandwich us, don't they? We're kind of in the middle, and just luckily we were high enough for it not to kind of really affect us. The houses directly behind us, got hit very, very badly. Yeah, and like I say, you went out, didn't you, Tom? You were kind of went walking around on the Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, so it was just parts. There are parts of Pontypridd you literally couldn't walk down.
Yeah,
because it's so it affected loads and loads of businesses and residents in the area, but I guess customers.
Yeah.
You had Club of Bont was completely just decimated, wasn't it?
Yeah. You think that's Riverside, and that's
and it's
level
kind of down
wise
the hill
that's
as well
below,
a bit, isn't it? So
it's below the level of the main shopping street. So you think
Taff
of
Street,
how bad
which is
that
the
was.
main shopping street, they've got a Boots and a Costa Coffee and Greg's and all that kind of thing, and it was up to the door handles there.
Yeah.
So Club of Bont, which is kind of down a little alleyway down towards the Taff, that's down an extra kind of meter and a half anyway, and it was just kind of, from what I gathered, just up to the ceilings kind of thing. So distressing.
Yeah.
Really distressing to see, wasn't it?
I think that again, luckily we none of us were directly affected. You see the weather warnings.
Yeah,
are still
I think we've had another storm since, haven't we? Is it Jorge?
Yeah, there's
which,
been a few just sort of on, one after the other.
Yeah.
But businesses like, you go through Ponty Town, it's nearly every business on Taff Street. Club of Bont, Green Rooms, which is
Green Rooms
our
down
local
the industrial estate,
rehearsal rooms.
We supply gear to, don't we?
Yeah.
Everything got destroyed there.
Yes.
I think they just had a new stage built, and that's kind of gone. So, as is kind of typical of like this area, I think not that we've really had anything like this before, but music is kind of the thing that resonates with almost everybody in this area, whether you're a musician or not. They're pretty quick to start organising some charity gigs. So I think there's been, up to this point, there's been quite a few already, haven't there? I think there's one in Jack's last weekend up in Aberdare.
Yeah.
You've got rival, I don't know if you call them rival or not, how they consider each other, but you've got other venues in the area that are doing everything they can to help out venues that have
that's
suffered.
Yeah, that's the great thing.
Yeah, massively. A lot of people showed concern, asking if we were all right,
yes.
And luckily we were. My fear was maybe I knew we were. As soon as Tom said we were fine, that was great. But the rain just kept coming, so you kind of think, if the drains block up, that's how it'll get
Yeah.
us. But like I say, luckily we were fine, and I kind of felt, hope this doesn't come across as anything other than what I mean it to be, but you kind of feel guilty that other people did suffer and that we were kind of fine, in as much as it's.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It is definitely hard to say.
Say to people,
we
"Don't
were-
worry, we're fine," kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it's an odd feeling, isn't it?
Mm. So there's the main kind of charity events to support the people affected by it. There's like a promotions company in the area that have kind of got this thing together called Valley Aid,
Yes.
and on the first night, which is tonight, as at the time of recording, the Friday night, it's I think it's dedicated to or supporting Club of Bont.
Right.
The Saturday, which is supporting just
Residents.
residents
Yeah.
in general, and then Sunday it's for the green rooms.
Right. Yeah.
So there's 3 nights of gigs in the Pop Factory in Porth, and we've donated a red special, a Brian made guitar, signed by Brian, and he's written Cymru am byth on it, and I from what I gather, I think he signs loads of guitars, but it's probably the only guitar with
Any personalisation. Yeah. Yeah.
or kind of I don't think he's ever written anything in Welsh before. So
No, it's nice. It's a
so
really
yeah,
it's a really nice
that came
piece.
through yesterday, and we're going to take that along tomorrow night, and I'm looking forward to it, providing it doesn't get cancelled due to COVID-19.
Yeah. So this is the other thing. This being
kind of shaken. So the floods were on our doorstep,
That's right.
and I think that certainly the week following it, we had a few. It wasn't that busy because people quite rightly had other things on their mind, and
Yeah.
and also a lot of people. Even last week, we had people 2-3 weeks after the floods, people asking, "Can they get to us yet?" Thinking that we were, the second city of Atlantis or whatever, But so the floods kind of affected us, I guess, in that way. But this coronavirus thing, starting out in the Far East, which is the world's factory.
Yeah.
I think that at this point, it's gone from being scaremongering and something you dismiss to actually being a real genuine concern now, whether it's health-wise or just from a business point of view.
Yeah.
Because it kind of feels at the moment that everything's going to come to a standstill pretty soon. It kind of feels like a massive Christmas Eve, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what
Like
you mean.
Christmas Eve, around about 1-2 o'clock, the roads go quiet out there, and you know that you're going to shut the door and there's nothing that can be done for the next couple of days. It's kind of that feeling, but there's nothing to look forward to, except maybe a couple of weeks of Netflix and Disney Plus. I've pre-subscribed. Have you?
So you had the deal price then.
I'd got the deal price there.
With the
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't yet, but it's Star Wars
I know.
basically. Star Wars and Marvel. Yeah, it's bizarre. We've chatted about it in the shop and saying that 2 weeks in isolation is for us, and we're not making light of the virus at all. But for us, I can just imagine that is sort of ideal practice time.
Can you imagine? Yeah. If there were no consequences, it's the kind of if you were working for somebody solid like an insurance company or I don't know, an organisation that are set up for you to be able to, listen, this company policy, this is what we're doing. we had somebody from Hitachi Capital was meant to come in to talk to us about new finance things that we can offer customers on Tuesday. He's been told, no, you're not going anywhere. Worldwide, they've got a lockdown and self-isolate for however long. If you're in that kind of situation, it kind of seems wrong to say, but it almost seems like fun, doesn't it? In as much as it's a massive snow day.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, yeah.
But for as fun as it would be to have that amount of time off, you guys still need to be paid. Rent and rate to pay, and I've got taxes and all the rest of it. That's the scary thing. So it's and that's a shop on this kind of level. Like it when you're talking of companies that have hundreds and thousands of employees relying on them, things can't just stop. It's weird, but we know that a lot of our suppliers have been saying for the last month, we've no idea what's going to happen come summertime, when we are expecting usually 10,000 A-frame stands or a lot of guitars coming from the Court factory or whatever.
Yeah.
It's we're so reliant on product made elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what have we got that is made in the UK in the shop?
Rotosound strings.
Rotosound strings. Rotosound strings, and we had a couple of Rottweiler pedals in once. No, Rothwell pedals in once, didn't we?
British, yeah.
Yeah.
But not a lot else.
No.
Some of the nicer Marshall stuff.
Yeah. No, actually, good call. Yeah. But it's a struggle to think of. If you try making a list of 10.
I don't think we could get to 10.
No. So, it just stands to reason that, it's going to be. It's going to be an interesting kind of scenario that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
In 6 months' time.
Definitely is. It's not just the items that are sort of made and finished elsewhere. Down to a component level, these people are going to be, even these British people are going to need, British companies are going to need components and other bits and pieces that they're probably not going to get.
No.
So the knock-on is probably going to take us to...
Well, I spoke to Andy from Marshall today,
right,
and he said we're facing massive shortages already, kind of thing. And that's no, that's not 6 months down the line kind of thing.
Yeah. Because it's not even just what's being made; it's what's ready and done and made, but isn't being sent out because there's nobody in work to send them out.
No.
And obviously everything's quarantined as well.
Yeah. So
it's a bizarre.
Yeah, and it'll be one of those things that when we're in our 60s, 70s, or whatever, we won't forget about this. Unfortunately, let's not get too down about this kind of stuff, but this might be the first, which you'll always remember the first time something like this happens, but, it's very unlikely to be the last, given the way that the world is, in as much as, look how quickly it's got from
the
a market
connectivity
in China to the entire world.
Yeah.
We're shut down Italy, a lot of Spain.
Benidorm is shut as of today.
Yeah. It's wiped off trillions and trillions of pounds from, the stock market and everything. Anyway.
But 2020 is our positive year.
2020 is our positive year. I had a feeling it was going to be a good year. And
good may not be the word we're going to use. Interesting so far.
So literally the night after, the evening after we finished the podcast with Leighton,
yes,
we saw an announcement on Facebook to say Gamlins in Cardiff were closing at the end of March.
That's right. Yeah,
which is kind of desperately sad, I think. Because cranes, which was something that was just a massive part of my youth, Gamling's probably more so for you
Gamling's
because
for me, yeah.
you worked there or you did work experience?
No, Chris did work experience with
Right.
Gamlins. Yeah.
Chris is here. Shout, say hi, Chris. It's sat down on Tom's lap, so you can get close to the microphone. You worked in Gamling's for a while,
3 months.
right? Okay.
So,
For when was that?
it was a long, long time ago.
Doesn't help.
Well, we're the same age,
I
and
think I was 19, 20.
Just about 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah,
So right about 2008.
yeah.
2010, 2008. Okay. And Gamling's was kind of flying at that point, wasn't it? Because I think it was round about then the Cranes started, not really concentrating on the key brands and doing a lot
Okay.
more with the Hudson side
Right.
of things. And
Yeah, it
there
was
was
one
like
of them,
the balance kind of shifted where, Cranes started maybe faltering a bit and Gamling's were doing a lot more. So, so you worked with Emil and Phil and Mystic-
mostly Matt. He showed me a lot of things to do with the repairs, which started me off really.
yeah.
And then later on, when I started doing it by myself, and then I had a couple more tips off like Dave Dudley and that, and then that
So
pushed me.
Did you ask them for a job
Yeah,
and they didn't give you one?
I was going into uni at that time.
Oh, okay.
I asked him for a job.
Right, and they didn't give
I was
you.
told to put my CV in. Put my CV
So
in.
basically, two of my employees, Gamlin said, "Nah, if it's all the same, thanks." But
Yeah, I didn't.
but
Yeah, I
you
didn't
passed,
have anything to do.
You passed my test with flying colours.
Yeah, and I tell you,
I didn't really pass your test.
No,
I
you've just kind of edged your way in and
pushed my way in.
Yeah.
interestingly, Chris and I went down this week.
Okay, right,
So-
to kind of say goodbye and stuff.
Well, yeah, when when it's yeah, almost. It's it's we went down because obviously it just felt like we couldn't just let it sort of
No, just
shut
kinda-
without
Yeah,
seeing the guys, at least in the shop again.
I kind of
It's
feel
an
like I
odd-
want to go down. I don't know anyone
Yeah.
there, and I know that Emil knows, who I am, kind of thing. I wouldn't, say I wouldn't want to go down and kind of
It was a
look
strange.
like I'm rubbing my hands, kind of thing.
That was the strange thing. We that was in the back of our minds. We didn't want it to be like
no.
coming down to kind of
No, the nice thing
In a
being
better
is that they've been in complete control of this. They've been kind of, looking at it.
yeah.
It seems like they've been kind of winding it down for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gamlin, passed away about 3-4 years ago, just before PMT opened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when PMT opened, they could have either gone all out and capitalized on PMT's marketing and run a business ready for the future kind of thing, or just say, do you know what, we don't need to do this any longer. They're finishing in a good position. Nobody's punted them out of business.
No.
They've had a sale on. I think they've shifted a lot of gear, and he's got a nice pension for himself with the premises that he's got there. So it's
Yeah.
if a shop's going to disappear, you want it to be in those circumstances. But it's still, it's sad. One less shop means just competition's good. It keeps us on our toes, but also it gives the customer plenty of
It's choice, and I think that
Yeah.
just for someone who's maybe not into music, seeing music shops just gives people an idea, that whole industry exists.
yeah.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's my first proper electric guitar was from there. My brother's first proper electric guitar was from there. It's
What was
my
your first?
acoustic. My first proper one. I don't count the Argos Encore Strat.
You didn't get an Argos on.
Well, I didn't have a choice. I
Okay.
was like 11. My first proper electric was an Ibanez DTX 120, which was the shrunken down. It was the Destroyer, which is the Explorer,
Right.
but it was like a slightly smaller shape, matte black.
Yeah.
And my brother's friends got that now. because he was learning. That was years ago. My brother's first electric was a LTD Viper, which we don't have anymore. And my first proper acoustic, I did have a 12-string from Brian James, but my first proper acoustic was the Tango that I've still got.
Yeah.
So it'll be, I would have had it 10 years next year.
Was it?
Yeah, but it's very bizarre when you going in there now and there's no guitar department anymore.
Isn't
There's no no guitars in that big back section. There's
Isn't there?
No, just drum bits.
Whoa.
And the only guitars now are in the little soundproof room
Yeah.
or the acoustics next to it. That's it.
Whoa.
That's it.
Quite depressing, wasn't it?
Oh,
But
God, yeah.
amplifier-wise, they still got Series 1s.
They still got a Series 1 in the window. Yeah.
Sorry, Steve. I know you do listen to this.
There is a Series 1 there. There's a couple of bits and pieces. But not a lot. I was surprised by how little there was stock-wise, which is good, because it means that they shifted
sold
it.
to it.
Yeah.
He's set up an absolutely amazing reverb shop with, well, when I say amazing reverb, he's set up a reverb shop with some phenomenal pieces on there. You know, some things that nobody knew were lurking in the back cupboards or whatever.
No.
1953 or 1954 Telecaster.
It's a 53 Blackguard. Yeah.
Which he's got up for £40,000.
Yeah. And there's a 60, I think it's a 63 telly.
Yeah,
which
Lake Placid Blue,
I've
a
played that
refin.
one. Yeah, I've played that
Did
one.
you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Is it?
Yeah, it's nice. I haven't played the 53, but Matt said that it's nicer than the 53.
Yeah.
It's just obviously that's the one that people go for.
Yeah.
And then there's the Strat then, which was, that was a late 50s, was it? Late 50s, early 60s, maybe. Very, very, very nice. Again, that was, tens of thousands. And the DNA,
Ideas. Yeah,
the DNA gem, which was one of the ones with Steve Vai's blood in the paint. One of them
Real
jobs.
blood?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
put his blood in the paint. It's probably one drop of thing in the paint.
Still.
It's like what Kiss did with their comic books, didn't they?
Yeah.
Blood in the comic book paint, in the ink. Very rock and roll.
What was
But-
your first guitar?
My first proper one was Les Paul Gothic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so is
Which-
that Epiphone, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
I had one of
I
those
also
on the
had from Gamlin's.
What was it, EMGs or something, is it? Or?
I can't remember.
No, I think there's
No,
passives in it.
Yeah.
There's passives in my one.
But it kind of says also it's just all black.
All matte black. Yeah.
Matte black.
Yeah.
Little kind of cross thing.
Cross in the 12th fret. Yeah. It's the first guitar I tried to strip back and paint a different color.
Oh.
Didn't go well. Did not go well.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. It was it was Speed and GM were there,
Yeah.
but it was either Gamlins or Cranes, wasn't it?
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And from both to be gone now, or soon to be gone is
It's only really GM that's left now. Out of
And
all the old
PMT.
ones.
Yeah, the old ones. Yeah.
So what was your first guitar?
My first acoustic was my dad was given an acoustic back in like 1982 or so, and I think it was Italian.
Yeah.
And literally, he was given the guitar, and he dropped it just as he got out the car.
That's right. I remember him telling me the story. Yeah.
Yeah. But it had a bolt-on neck.
Right.
It's a dreadnought.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Bolt-on neck. It wasn't an Echo, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was from the same kind of place, because
Like a K or something like that.
maybe something
Something
like that, yeah. But for years and years, the guitar was just in the corner, and I didn't start playing guitar. I picked it up first when I was about 10, and I didn't start playing properly till I was about 11 or 12.
Yeah.
But when you don't understand the instrument, you'd put all the tuning pegs in a line.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you think it's meant to be like that. Strings snap, so I used to tie the string
Oh, great.
together, kind of thing, and then tense it back up, and so it was for years and years. It was just in the corner, and then I started playing it, asking for lessons one day, and just went from there.
Mm-hmm.
The first electric was my dad bought a Hofner back in my granddad bought a Hofner back in the 60s from a guy who, my granddad was a foreman on a building site, or building firm rather, and one of the guys who was working for him, I think, from what I gather, had I think he needed money for something or other, and my granddad said he'd mentioned this guitar. I think story goes he'd been on tour with Tom Jones or something, but in this area, everybody everybody who was alive in the 60s toured or did something with Tom Jones. But anyway, this guy, I think he was hard up on his luck and he needed some money, and my granddad bought this Hofner. It's like a very thin, but
That's
I'll
right.
have to bring it in. Have you seen it? It's a single cutaway.
There's a very thin that's come in, hasn't it? That your dad has brought in. Is it that same one?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it's really nice. It had a very treacherous kind of nail hanging out of, like a rusty nail hanging out of the pickguard, which on so many times I just kind of gouge my hand and finger with. But yeah, that was Dad's. Again, he didn't play it. He listens to this, so I'm not sure how he's going to react to this. But my father's got, I don't know if it's a scrapbook or just a bag at home of basically certificates running from around about 1961 through to about 1965, where he won mime competitions.
What?
Yeah. So basically, they used to put a record on. And, when I was in school, I used to get up and play for the Ice 7 or whatever, in a band, whatever. My dad used to as well, but he used to mime.
Okay.
And he's got certificates of, like, second place, third place, second place, in consecutive years from around 1961 through to about 1965. So no singing or actual playing involved, but I believe this guitar was instrumental in his career. So that was my first leg.
We'll have to have a rendition of some of them.
Yeah. But right, you can give Tom his seat back now, Chris.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
What, biscuit news?
Oh,
last episode.
You what, sorry? We said last biscuit news.
we killed it, didn't we, last episode?
We did kill it, but it didn't get a very good reaction. I think Kate said, "Who do you think you are?" In so many words. Well, actually, not in so many words. That's what she said. She said, "You're not too good for biscuit news," and that kind of put me in my place. So we've definitely got some. I didn't realise we were doing a podcast today. In all honesty, it's only because it was a bit of a weird day here. In as much as it's been a decent day, it's felt really quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I have actually got some biscuits that I brought back from a holiday that I'll use them in the next episode, I think. There's no point me bringing them in till now, before now, because they would have been devoured by certainly Tom.
What biscuits are they?
I'm not telling you until they come in. They're special.
That sounds good.
But we have had some contributions, haven't we?
Yeah, big thank you to our good friend Steve.
I didn't see Steve, did I?
No, you were off. 3 packs.
What did he bring in?
So it was the cottage crunch, the ginger sort of ones, and then
fancy ones.
the other ones, which were the best biscuit I've ever tasted in my entire life.
What?
They were like the shortbread
Bread with
currants,
yeah,
raisins.
like,
But honestly, like when you used to do baking, or when your grandparents did baking, and they rolled out the dough, and you could like smell it, and you'd like pick bits up. It tasted like that. It was just like, it was just the best. Them again, please, Steve. Them again. So you missed Steve, but I missed Mike Roster.
Yeah, Mike Roster brought some nice things, didn't he?
They were cupcakes, weren't they? Mini cupcakes.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I didn't see. I did see,
Chocolate.
didn't have.
You're sorry?
There was chocolate ones.
There was
and,
chocolate ones and
red velvet.
That's right.
Red velvet ones are just to die for. No, but you liked the chocolate ones, didn't you?
Chocolate ones were the best.
And Tristan liked the chocolate ones.
Christina brought in some tea.
Christina, she's
Christina,
been in.
always, yeah.
She's been in about 3 times, and 2 lots of tea cakes.
And
Which-
jam Welsh cakes.
I think I said to you the other day that every bite of a tea cake feels like heaven in your mouth, doesn't it? Like it's just there's nothing.
It's like heaven in your mouth. Right, so it's an instant advert jingle there.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah, they do.
Tunnocks.
And are they from up north? Are they from up north?
Scotland. But yeah, see,
Oh.
I'll do it in a northern accent, right? And
Yeah.
then you do the song, right? Tunnocks,
Feels like heaven in your mouth.
the northern tea cake. Good.
Your mum brought in some Welsh cakes.
I love my mum's Welsh cakes.
Delicious.
They were very nice.
Yeah.
Proper Welsh.
It was only one each. Well, I had two.
Yeah, I had
I had one.
Well, maybe it evens things out a little, only a little. Because I did bring in some sweets from holidays, Royston sweets, which are amazing.
And they lasted ages because none of us opened them, did we?
No.
And
I
today
opened, yeah.
we finished. That was it.
Whoa, we finished them all. They're all gone.
That was it.
Well, literally, they're all gone
I
now.
think that's everything now.
So the ones that I nab myself that are in my pocket at the moment, these are the last ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We've got a competition to judge.
Yeah, it's not going to take long, is it?
No.
2 entries.
Which isn't bad, because, you know...
Just throw a dart. We've got a dart.
So the...
It's not bad, is it?
The only ball thing we said was that... so they brought out these new flavours, haven't they, of Ernie Ball strings. And we said, come up with a new name. I'm not convinced. I'm sure we had more than that, because we got... I think on YouTube somebody put something down, and I think on... I'm sure we've got a few more entries than this, but at the moment I'm only looking at 2. so I'm sure Elwyn had some kind of idea, but anyway, Dr. Dan and Steve Williams have given us some actually a list each.
A list each. So they make up for it.
Steve put down Pinky Slinky, which I think is really good.
Don't get it mixed up with...
Dinky Slinky.
That's good, because it's for
smaller
quarters.
guitars.
Yeah.
Batfinky Slinky, 1960s tribute selection. Do you remember Batfink?
No.
Yeah.
Too young.
You cannot harm me. My wings are made like a shield of steel. Used to go around. And Binky Slinky, made in Chelsea signature edition. So I'm guessing Binky must be a character from Made in Chelsea.
Some sort of,
Yeah.
modern
I like all those.
celebrity.
Yeah. And Dr. Dan, Angel Hair, 7 to 36. Oh, he's listed gauges. Wide load, 8 to 48. Big unit, 10 to 58. Low hanging fruit, 11 to 62.
That is low.
And Goldilocks for the gauge that's just right. There's both of those I think are really good. I'd probably go for Dinky Slinky
Dinky Slinky's...
on Steve's and Big Unit.
Big unit Slinky.
So yeah, they both get a set.
Nice.
No losers in this game.
Well, we can afford to not have any losers at this point.
Let's splash out.
So there's been quite a few videos have gone up recently,
Yes.
which we've done. We've tried a new format,
Hmm?
and people seem to be liking. It's where I don't say anything.
So to compensate, you've tatted up a bit more, and you've pierced yourself.
I have pierced myself. That's the latest thing. No new tattoos, but yeah, I have pierced myself. Yeah, they seem to be going down quite well.
Yeah.
What?
PRS one's getting
All
lots
right,
of
those
views.
are
Yeah,
videos.
no,
About the tats.
The piercing, no. Burn the witch.
Yeah, not the body modification. Definitely not.
You've got a lot of middle Americans, kind of, I think, that really take offence at your art. And all they got to do is
isn't
just switch off.
Yeah.
But they insist on saying on your video long enough to be able to type a long message to tell you how much they don't like you.
But comments bump us up in the things.
Yes, so
And-
more fool them.
Yeah. all you're doing is paying for more work. Yeah, it seems to be that kind of Middle American thing or European,
Yeah,
Western European.
yeah. I think the Spanish.
Is it Spanish? Is it?
Yeah, I don't think they like them.
I was going to
Not
Benidorm.
a word from the Germans or French.
They're fine.
Mm.
They don't mind.
Social media comment of the week.
And on that note,
Let's have a positive comment of the week.
it's from Sophie,
Mm-hmm.
maker of great cakes. Saw her earlier today. I can't read it out because it seems like I'm just praising myself.
Oh my days. Sorry, that sounds like I'm taking the mic. Oh my days, I love the jingle so much.
Oh,
and
stop.
then lots of exclamation marks.
Stop. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah. Thank you.
Social media comment of the week.
So, we're going to wrap it up there. Like I say, it was just people hate the term touching base. So I'm going to use it. We're just touching base with you guys and girls. And I imagine we'll be doing the next podcast in lockdown. Quarantined.
On a three-way Skype call.
Three-way Skype call, plenty of delays and, yeah.
Lots of hoarded biscuits.
Lots of, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll have plenty of new stock and new news and
New news.
new
Yeah.
news. All news is new news. But
New news is good news.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have some fun bits going on. You know.
Keep an eye on the videos. We got quite a few ideas with that.
Yeah.
Tom invested in a track.
Mm.
We got a
So-
slider.
A slider.
Got a slider.
And we're thinking about a couple other little investments.
Mm-hmm.
It's the YouTube money coming in. And thanks for listening. I've been Andrew.
I've been Adam.
I've been Tom.
That's Chris. So say goodbye, Chris.
Bye.
He is over the other side of the room.
We're all going to panic buy some dried pasta and
Bog roll.
yeah. See you soon.
Bye.